Yeah, my internet decided 6:55 was the perfect time to completely reset. Not sure why. Hey, Akicha. I'm back. Yeah, my internet decided my router decided to completely reset. Not sure why. Just felt like now is the time. Guess who's back? I'm back. Whether you like it or not, I'm back. It needs universal health care. That's true. It does. True. It needs universal health care. Universal health care for routers too. Hey yo, what's up, Willow? Yeah, my everything reset on me. You froze right around the time you started defending capitalism, I'm pretty sure. I would never defend capitalism. I know. It's all a conspiracy. That's right. Of course. Capitalism, by its very nature, hits wealthy against the poor. Totally agree. And I would be all for moving us away from capitalism completely. I just also know that we live in a world that deals with capitalism. So it's not as simple as just switching to something that I think would be better, because we are a global economy right now. So unless we can get a good chunk of the country to join in on that, I think it would be very difficult to impossible. Thank you, Alexandra. I appreciate you. But yeah, I hate capitalism. In the grand scheme of things, I hate capitalism.
Oh, yeah. I have a theory that I truly think communism would work, but only under a matriarchal system.
Healthy capitalism isn't necessarily bad. Here's the thing. Whether you're talking capitalism, which I understand is an economic, not a not is technically not the same as socialism and communism really, but any of those isms, by their very nature, in a pure sense, without strong regulations and protections, all of them are probably destined to fail. That's just a reality, because there are greedy people. There are people that will use any system that exists to try and gain more money and power and authority for themselves. And I think we should never, I think we unfortunately cannot assume that no, capitalism does not encourage smarter and hardworking people. It encourages greed and exploitation. You can absolutely get innovation without capitalism. You absolutely can. What do you mean, how? You think that people don't have the desire to work to better society except for money? You think that's all there is for people? You think the only reason we innovate is to make money? There was a period of time where people didn't have capitalism and didn't work in that, and people still still innovated. Sorry.
You know what helps people to create and to reach their potential? People who are safe, people who are fed, who have housing, clothing, who aren't struggling every day just to survive. That's what builds innovation. Making sure that people's basic needs are met so that they can do and reach their best potential.
Billy, that is not. Men are whiny little babies that have way more emotion than women do. Because again, emotion doesn't just mean crying. Arguably, crying is a better response to emotion than what men do. Much better. Say it again and act it out violently. You're right. You're right, Teresa. If I want people to get it, I need to do it like a man would do it. Sorry. Maybe I should do it like this. Men angry all time. There, does that work? Who won't? LOL. My wife of almost 21 years. User blah blah blah. This content creator implies that you are significantly dumber than most of the people, and you should just not be able to talk anymore. Oh wait, it worked. Male feminist. I just speak about what I've experienced, Brian. I'm not even sure I would consider myself a feminist per se. I always struggle with any of those descriptions because I always find that everyone's got a different definition of what it means to some extent, and it just gets complicated. In my experience, men tend to be very emotional and have caused more problems in this country than women have. Women tend to be more empathetic, care about people, be better with money, be willing to admit when they're wrong.
Men are still causing massive harm.
Merit is all that matters.
Nope.
Nope. He's got that tiny D energy, Silver. Got that tiny D. Maybe they'll push him to turning chat off completely. That's always hilarious. Oh, That usually happens when people whine about free speech and they don't realize that you don't get free speech in someone's chat. That is how it should be, Brian. That is not how this male-dominated society works, though. They tried to head that way, but men technically are the ones that keep fighting against it.
And Mike's actually more normal than I am. I actually don't want to work or hire men at all. I don't. And when I have the choice, I do not care. I will always hire a woman.
And that's fair.
And you call me extreme if you want, but the older I get, the more I mean, I just have better workers. Like, women are by far and large the better workers that I have always worked with.
If women are better politicians, then why haven't we seen matriarchy in the United States?
Because men are violent.
Yeah, because men have done everything humanly possible to prevent women from being able to be in charge.
If men were natural leaders, why do they have to exert violence to assert their leadership?
Women are expected to are held to higher standards, expected to do more, expected to make less mistakes. Force is part of leadership. Nope. No, it's not. Actually, force is not leadership at all. For less pay. Then why need military protection, defense?
Yeah. Also, the military is made up of women too, by the way. A huge percentage. And then when you look at other militaries throughout the world, they even have higher percentages of women.
No, protection is not force.
Absolutely not. And this is exactly why you see men falling behind so much, and why movements like 4B and We Choose the Bear, all of these movements, why less and less women are choosing to be with men.
And
this is exactly why.
Emmeline, you're probably right. Military is needed because of men. True. Then how do you protect without force? You obviously have never protected in your entire life. Some of the strongest protection uses no force at all.
It also means that you have no concept of government or military, because the overwhelming majority of our military does not use force to exert protection. That is basically caveman thinking. I hope you're smarter than a caveman, but you have not shown that that is the case.
Oh, men are absolutely followers. Men care so much about what other men think about them. It's kind of disgusting. Like, it is really disgusting. Like, almost everything a man does is more. 17.7 is not a huge percent. Of course it is. How long ago did women first get allowed into the military?
They're also, they're still fighting today. And I guarantee you're actually probably going to see a drop because of Hegseth with women in the military, especially when you have constant attacks on women in the military. You have the leader of the military right now, all the leaders of the military right now, who openly hate women, who have said that they don't think women should be in the military, who have been taking away protections from women in the military, councils that have been around for decades that create protection for women in the military, and taking away their health care. And you think women are going to voluntarily sign up to do that?
No, we're not talking when they could sign up to work in, we're talking like in the military. They were only allowed in combat roles recently. And am I out of the mind? No, men absolutely give a shit about what other men think about them more than anything. That's why the go-to insult by men is to call another man gay. Because to them, that would be an insult. Because to them, the idea of a man being attracted to another man offends them. Women don't care if a man is attracted to another man. Men care that a man is attracted to another man. Thanks, Luna. Everyone should be their mythical best. Anything seen as feminine is seen as below. Yep. Some men, not all. Sure, not all. But we're not talking about the men that aren't the problem. We're talking about the men that are the problem. The men that aren't the problem are the ones that are coming on here and don't have a problem with women being in politics or as CEOs. The men that are the problem in this country are the ones that care, are the ones that care more about what a man thinks about them, whether they will admit it or not. Because again, you got what's his face here, John Smith, who thinks that he doesn't care what other men think about him. Which means he definitely does. Make no mistake that Make Line is actively looking for a chance. Why? Because of two reasons: competition, so she get rid. Yeah. It's a Temu G.I. Joe mentality. All show, no substance, highly destructive. Yeah. Again, I've interacted with a lot of women who are in the military. They are they are going to make great members of Congress. Let's put it that way. Let's just put it at that. I once read a line in a book that stuck with me. Women are more bloodthirsty than men. It's just we're the ones telling men to squish the spider. There you go. Hexeth is a 12-year-old boy playing Call of Duty or Battleship. True. Your background statement alone shows the level of your ignorance. Okay. All right, Tracy. Wait, I got to do this right. Hold on. Your background statement. It's not high enough. Hold on.
Oh, there we go. Your background statement alone shows the level of your ignorance.
Of course they do. Of course they do, Ambrosia. Men, I made a video about it and I stand by it. Men, if men had to deal with what women have to deal with, body-wise or societally, we would be on the ground, curled up in a ball, weeping. We could not do it. And any man that thinks they could is probably the kind of person that if you ask about any part of a woman, they would have no, is probably the kind of person that thinks that putting a tampon in is like losing your virginity. Which there are men out there that believe that. I wish that were a lie. My org had a menstrual cramp simulator and men fell down in pain at the lowest setting. Yeah. Okay, books. You mean my wife of 21 years, Abu? Okay. It's funny that you think that the only reason I would make this statement is for that reason. It shows that that's all you care about. Funny enough, it's not all I care about. I love watching manly men cry when they do those menstrual and labor simulators. Yeah. I have faith in America seeing people like you guys. Thanks, Teresa. I appreciate that. I'm not perfect, but I try and do my best to listen. It's about having hard conversations and listening and learning. And again, if you haven't watched the video of the panel of women that are running for Congress that I posted on Monday, please go watch it. It will give you hope. It will give you hope. Hey, Shadow. Thing is, isn't the definition of idiocy doing the same thing on repeat, even when it's not working? That's true. Whew. Looks like we're getting some more rain. Thank you, Patty. I like how they think that's some sort of gotcha. What they don't get is only you and people like you care about that. I don't care what a trans woman was before they realize that they're actually a woman. I don't care. I don't know why you do. Why do you care? And notice it's always trans women. You never hear them complaining about trans men. Again, you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because for these kind of men, for the men that care about trans women, they are so worried that they are going to hit on someone who has male reproductive organs. Because again, it's always about what other men think about them. Ah, yes. Hmm. It's because the policies that come with it? No. The policies that come with it, the only policies that are coming with it are the dangerous ones that men, weak, emotional men that are running our country right now on the GOP are making that are endangering the lives of people. The only policies that are coming are the weak, emotional men that are doing violent things to people because they can't handle their own emotions. So what? Why do you care? And then you go to changing room. Gosh. Why do I care about people's lives? Because I have empathy and humanity. That's why I care about people's lives. See, Silver, I think you're giving men too much credit for how deep they actually think. I think you're giving men too much credit in that. Do I have empathy for people who disagree with... What is empathy, Fishing Bobby? What is empathy? You can't have empathy for someone. This is the part that you don't seem to understand and that has gotten lost. That's not empathy. Empathy means you try and understand someone else's perspective, even if you don't believe it or understand it. I empathize with women. I will never know what it's like to be a woman. But when a woman tells me what it's like to be a woman, I have empathy. Right. Correct. So do you? Do I empathize with people? I mean, I listen to them. Sure. I understand why. But I also understand that the reason that a lot of them, what I disagree with them politically is because they don't care about people and they lack humanity. So what do you expect me to do? My humanity is still greater than my willingness to fully understand someone. Welcome back, Kelly. A trans person's right to life is more important to me than you not being able to understand or you caring about a trans woman being in a bathroom. That's the same way I feel about you. No, it's not. It is not the same way you feel about me. You disagree with me politically, but I have humanity. You don't. That's a very different argument. I care about all people, no matter your race, religion, gender, or identity. You don't. You have no desire to understand my side. Oh no, you're such much than me. What? Let's try that again. Yeah, Paige. Evening live. Better? Not better. Never said I was better. Again, you seem to misunderstand this whole purpose. It has nothing to do with better or worse. I never even said I was a wonderful human being. You're right. I do have white privilege. As a person with my skin tone, I did grow up with that, and I understand that. Bobby, you seem to think that this is a win-lose situation. It's not. I interact with people, a lot of people that disagree with me, that have humanity, and still disagree with me politically. If you don't agree with my fundamentals, I won't interact. I won't go in deeper. Because that's my fundamental. That's my line in the sand. You should love yourself? I do love myself. What does that have to do with anything? White privilege can lead to loss of life if you wind up in marginalized, especially if they deny you your right. That's a dumb statement, Angel. No, it's not. What's white privilege? White privilege means a society that was designed to make different aspects of it easier for you based on the color of your skin compared to people who are living in the same society with other colored skin. Really? Yeah, really. You obviously have never had somebody think that you were stealing just because of the color of your skin. No, I've never been arrested. What does that have to do with anything? I actually have. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt that you have ever been anyone has worried that you were going to take something because of the color of your skin. Oh gosh. You got asked if you paid for it. That's not what I mean. Being asked if you paid for something is very different. And assuming they did it because of the color of your skin is also not. Jeez. Yeah, go into black spaces and listen respectively. Exactly. Must be on his period. Probably true. You're paid to make these videos and lives when my videos get enough views and when people choose to gift me. That's the only paying I get. So emotional, I know, right? I love that it's always men that come in that say it's a joke of a topic. They don't realize. They don't realize. What's up, Jeremiah? Niece and nephew are back. In many ways, their little lives are already harder than mine ever was. Yep. Sexism. Because there are people in this country okay. You're a joke. This isn't a joke. This is real. And fact. Every bit of it. Women have more empathy, more humanity, care about people just in general. They're better with money. They handle stress better in general. They don't whine when someone else calls them gay. I'm not gay. You take that back. Or I should say, I'm not gay. You take that back or I'm going to beat you up. Yeah, the algorithm doesn't like this topic. It makes too many men uncomfortable, I guess. Yeah, that's what mods do. They mute people that don't fit, that don't align with the fundamentals of this chat, of this channel. You don't have freedom of speech in my chat on my channel. You don't care about proof. I wouldn't pay women less. In fact, I would pay women more. More likely to actually succeed. Oh yeah, the men are really upset, Lori. Kind of funny, actually. The funny thing is they don't realize that my point is being made every time they come in. Like this person. Their insults are ones that would insult them. You can always tell what these guys would feel insulted by. Do you think anyone actually cares, though? What do you mean? I think a lot of people care. They care enough to come in and comment. I care enough to talk about it and try and get more women in office. I don't debate. Analyst. No debate. You actually paid attention, you would know. Don't debate in here. You can't imagine being raised by two mothers or two fathers. So? Okay, you can't imagine it. Don't care if you can imagine it. You don't have to worry about it. The people that are raised by two mothers and two fathers don't worry about it. They just grow up. Because there's nothing wrong with it. Right, Lori. And the fact is that women have to work harder or held to higher standards in the same for the same positions. No, I know this from my vast conversations with women. Daily, in fact. Because I have this thing called empathy and I'm willing to listen. Sounds like a prom theme. It kind of does. And again, the only men that are willing to say that kind of stuff are the men that would be offended by being called that. And the only men that would be offended by being called that are the ones that care about what other men think about them. They don't realize they're making my point every time they open their mouth. It's hilarious. Kids' lives are not yours. No, the kids' lives are the kids' lives. And all of them don't care. You obviously haven't had a kid. The only kid that even thinks about the fact that two moms or two dads might be a problem are because other people bully them for the fact that they have two moms or two dads. And that's the problem of the parenting of the other kids that have taught them that there's something wrong with that. You know, kind of like people like you that think there's a problem with that. This is just, again, the people that have a problem, what evidence for this? What's funny is that these people think that evidence matters. I could give them a laundry list of evidence. Bro thinks that parents can't be the problem. Oh no. Parents are almost always the problem. No, you're not. You're not curious about the evidence. There's literally decades upon decades of evidence. No, you're not. Everyone deserves a mother and a father. No, everyone deserves people that love them. Whether they're two men, two women, a man and a woman, or whatever. They deserve to be loved. Past that, doesn't matter. I don't believe you. No, I'm not giving you any evidence. And if you have a problem with that, feel free to move on. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. Have a good day. Why two if they're all... You think two people, whether they're men or women, are the same? You think all women are the same? You think all men are the same? What planet do you live on? Are you one of those people that watches those videos where guys say that men are all like this and women are all like that, and that's actually true? Like, I mean, come on. And right now, let's be fair, a lot of us have problems we're dealing with. I think a lot of us are dealing with some level of trauma from, especially from 2020. Probably before a lot too, but I think a lot of us are still dealing with trauma from 2020 and on. Children born into financially stable families do far better, so maybe that should be, I mean, that should definitely, I mean, we should be paying people living wages. Not me. I'm perfect. My dog told me so. Oh, okay, Aaron. Well, then Aaron at least is perfect. My cat told me I was perfect, but that was just to get another treat. They're good like that. They're good like that. They do like to get the treats. Cats are shady. They sure can be. Sure can be. Mine used to look me in the eye and slowly knock over a glass. There you go. House cats are punk rockers of the feline world. Yeah. Some of the best bosses I've had were women, and some of the worst. Again, I know I'm saying it as a general. Part of the reason that I'm here's the problem, I believe, and I think no matter what, there can be bad women leaders just like there can be good men leaders. But I think because currently there are double standards held on women when it comes to what is expected of them in order to get into the same position, I find it difficult to hold them to the same standards in terms of looking at them from the same lens. If that makes sense, JC. No, women do not operate more on emotion and less on logic. Men operate. Men are way more emotional than women. Men are way more emotional than women. You can't get into a male-dominated field. All fields are male-dominated. Because women weren't allowed in them. when you're not allowing women in, everything is male dominated to start. Men were the reason women were allowed to get jobs. Oh,
Wait, we need to be so. Men, thank you so much for allowing women to get jobs. You are so kind. Oh, if it wasn't for the men allowing the women to get jobs. Wowee.
can't believe somebody said that. I can't believe somebody said that. That is wild. That is wild that that actually came out of somebody's. Somebody spent the time to type that and hit send. You can't go by the picture. Not anymore. Female revolution is coming. I hope so. Men have, in general, screwed everything up. Because it's something I did. No, because it's something that did not align with the fundamentals of this channel. Bean. You want to see the great thing? Ready? Ready? You guys ready? Ready? Now none of you can talk. I don't have to let you talk. I can sit here and do all the talking. I can talk about whatever I want. We can talk
About the color blue and why I think the color blue should be not a male color anymore, but a female color. Pink should be the male color, and I think all men should be wearing pink all the time because I think it's stupid that women are the only ones allowed to wear pink because I think pink brings out a lot of good color in people's eyes, especially in male eyes, and I think men should wear a lot more pink. I can talk about whatever I want. I don't have to let you guys comment at all, but I do because that's how conversation works. So the fact that you come in here and think that I don't have the right or the ability to just mute whoever I want, you seem to be under the wrong impression.
Yeah, I could never be a Democrat again. You could never be a corporation? Democrat isn't an identity. Democrat is a corporate association. Hit a nerve? No. I think it's weird that you say you could never be something again. A Democrat or a Republican. I don't know why you would associate with any corporation. I think it's weird. I also think it's part of the problem. Okay. You can think you hit something. I don't know why you think you hit that, but Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Aaron. Imagine that. Anyone that doesn't align with the fundamentals and goes against the rules of the channel gets muted. Look, it's going to happen again, Bean Jumper. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. Libs are by far the most intolerant, not even close. Who said that? What do you think that we're supposed to tolerate? I know you can't answer, but I always find that interesting. What do you think do you think we're supposed to tolerate racism and sexism? What rules are people even breaking? So we're about conversation here. If you come in and you make blanket statements about groups of people, or you attack people, or if any of my mods believe that you don't align with the fundamentals, you'll at minimum get muted. Who are your mods? I've got a lot of mods. Fundamentals of this channel. What I created this channel off of. All people, no matter your race, religion, gender, or identity, deserve rights, respect, dignity, and safety. That is the line in the sand on this channel. And you're back again. Hey, Kelly. How many mods do I have? I don't know. Welcome back, April. Hey, Jamie. Everyone and their mother's calling you today. You're just a popular person, Kelly. I get you. I got you. I got you. You know, sometimes some people just be like that. Some people just be popular. Yeah, I know. Y'all are lucky Karakia isn't here. Apparently a therapist too. Yeah. Again, I know that there will be some people that won't be able to interact in here because of those rules, and I'm okay with that. So did everyone just get muted? No. There was a period where I turned off all comments. Because anytime someone comes in and acts as though I don't have the right to mute people, I show them that it's so quiet. It just got quiet. It's been quite talkative. I've actually been going for a couple hours. I lost internet for a couple minutes, but It goes up and down. It's just quiet right now. I don't usually go live at night, so a lot of the people that are there in the morning aren't around in the evening. Hey, Candace. They're probably on Lewis's live getting blocked. They'll be back. Okay. See ya. Appreciate you coming in. Hey, Ambrosia. Usually I only go live at night if there's something major going on. Got tired of TikTok? I feel you. I feel you. I understand. It can get exhausting. I appreciate that. I do appreciate you not getting me in trouble. And again, I usually also have people up talking. So it makes it easier to like keep conversing about things. I like talking in general. So when you guys bring things up, I'll talk about it, but I don't know. I'm not like, I don't feel like my goal is to like just talk nonstop. Do you guys like watching people that just talk nonstop? That feels like, I don't know. I don't. Nope. Dictatorship. I mean, I don't talk nonstop. Back what I miss? Nothing crazy. That's libs. See, again, Bobby. You act like you know me, but you actually don't. You think caring about other people and wanting the world to be better for marginalized communities is complaining. You think the fact that people can't afford to live that are working full time is complaining. The fact that you think that's a lib problem is why you and I will never be able to have a conversation. Because it's not about what you experience and the problems you have. You just made it about libs. Would you want me to just say that all conservatives are some way? Based on my experience with any? That's privilege speak. It really is. That way we know. I mean, what a blast. When it comes down to it, I understand why. Again, it's the same problem with all men, all Christians. It's like I know that not all conservatives are bad. I know conservatives that don't, that aren't supportive of what's going on. But I also find it very difficult to trust them, knowing that they would consider voting for someone as disgusting of a human being as the guy they put in charge. Especially if you voted for him. Especially if you voted for him 3 times. And that's the part that's frustrating. Name calling doesn't solve anything. No. No. And depending on who I'm talking to, the goal isn't to start to solve anything. Which is why usually if I'm name calling them, they're not going to be allowed to talk anymore. Because usually if I'm calling someone a name, it means they aren't going to be, it means they don't align with my fundamentals, which means they're not going to be a part of the conversation at all. But yes, for people that actually want to have a conversation, correct, name calling doesn't solve anything. And again, when you make generalized statements like that, depending on what you're talking about, you have the potential of looking like a hypocrite when your quote unquote side does the same thing. Like again, if you want to sit here and say that all people that do horrible things to women should go to prison. See, Rutabaga, that's a goodbye. That's disgusting. You're a piece of shit. See, that is someone that I'm willing to call names because Rutabaga is a disgusting, whiny, little d piece of shit who does not get to talk here anymore. And that's the way it works. Oh, he's already gone. Anyone that makes those kind of statements doesn't get to stick around. It's my end. It's the end of the day, birds. Of course, April. Anyone that thinks like that doesn't get a voice in this live. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. There are real, oh yeah. And I feel like they've been coming out a little stronger. Like the crazier this administration has gotten, the worse they're coming out. Because it's almost like the stuff they're doing is getting, the stuff this administration is doing is getting so nuts that they have to get crazier to try, like the way their brain has to process it to the point where they can defend it, they actually are required to get crazier. Trade court rules Trump's 10% global tariff is illegal. Ah. U.S. intelligence says Iran can outlast Trump's Hormuz blockade for months. What's the trade court? It's a federal court that specifically deals with trade policies. Anything to do with trade, like between other countries. But yeah, it's just another federal court, just a federal court that specifically deals with trade policies or trade, any trade court things. I don't know. Brain's not working. I need the president to remove the 100% tariff on China's vehicles and tech. Can you imagine how many Chinese electric vehicles would be in this country if they got rid of that 100% tariff? Woo! Which I would rather have one of those than Tesla any day. Any day. Right now, I get the most accurate news from Jimmy Fallon and Jon Stewart. What, you don't get it from me, Gerbera? I'm hurt. I think it's hilarious that Marco Rubio now has to go and try and mend ties with Pope Leo. How would you want to be? How much would you want to be a fly on the wall in that conversation? Ugh. That would be brutal. To be fair, I get some of my news from Jon Stewart too, so. TMZ is a good source these days, right? Poor Pope Leo, yeah. I heard he gave him a pin made out of an olive branch. There you go. Yeah, Kelly, come on down. Did you request and I missed it? No. Yeah, you can come up. Hello.
What is up?
Oh, you know.
How? The huge.
The huge. All the trolls have left, so it's nice and calm now.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, they might come back now that I'm here, but
they come back. It's always waves. It's waves.
Yeah. I swear most of them are bots. They have to be, because I don't know. There's no way.
I mean, some of them sure are. Some of them, their only goal, they're not actually like trying to argue anything. They're just coming in,
right?
Like they're actual people, but their only goal is to just
piss you off.
Yeah.
Like,
and what's funny is you can tell the ones that are bots because they think they are pissing me off, and it's like,
right?
Only a computer would look at me and think and see my responses and go, "Oh yeah, he's definitely still pissed off."
I'm
like,
really getting him. I'm really getting under his skin now.
I'm like, okay.
One more comment and I'll really send him over.
Yep. Oh, they did get the funny voice, Zoe. Yep.
That was earlier.
Are
That's
you
my favorite.
serious? I just got a friggin' restriction.
What? For what? Harassment and bullying?
Yes.
No way. I told you once I come in here, the shit's gonna start. Was it me?
No,
Did I
it
say
didn't
something?
say you.
TikTok's so weird. They've been giving a lot of those out on lives that I've been watching, like today specifically and yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
for seemingly no reason.
This is why I keep telling people to go over to the tube. I don't know how many more times I can say it. Like, it's one of those annoying things where, like, part of me is like, I just need to, like, cut the cord and do it. But, like, Lewis got 4 according to Scott.
Oh my gosh. I mean, even like the biggest creators on this app though will do YouTube streams simultaneously as well, and their engagement on YouTube isn't nearly the same. Or YT, sorry.
No, I don't care. I'm already restricted. What are they going to do to me? Scott has gotten a restriction when he wasn't even talking.
So silly.
So
I often get them for driving people to my website, and TikTok does not like that.
Yep. That's why we have to talk in code.
Yep. So fun. Don't you love it?
No, not really.
Insert sarcasm.
I know. I know.
I know you got to play the game sometimes a little bit, but doesn't mean it's fun too.
It's getting a little overboard. Like I'm all for I understand that, you know, this is a company that's trying to make money. But
how much money do you need? Like, why do you got to filter every single thing everyone says? And they'll say it's in the name of like protecting the community, but I don't know. You'd think that they'd have better technology to be able to filter some of that stuff out.
Well, you'd think.
Right.
But look who's in charge of the country. You think that we could pick a better leader, and we picked the same guy twice. Almost 3 times.
Great point. Great point.
They only do it to certain creators, though. Yeah, ones that speak out against this administration are the ones that are being watched. TikTok used to be so nice when we could speak like adults. Wasn't it nice? It was so nice.
But even like the political debaters, like they get away with a lot more than you do, I feel like. And their content still gets pushed, but it's because they're making the app money, I think, that they get some leeway.
As a director of a large corporation, I would take a group of ladies over men around my table any day. Same.
As the director of a large corporation, are you? And do you have that? Or are you just saying that in theory?
I wonder if they're saying like if they were a director.
That's what I'm assuming.
I mean, you look at every job that I have had that has involved me being able to hire people. I think I've only hired one male. I've almost always hired females because, again, they're just much harder workers. They're much better. They work better in groups. They're less whiny. That's not to say all of them were great. I can think of one at least that was like, okay.
Well, we're all still human at the end of the day, but I mean, as a woman business owner, you know, I'm looking right now at like what conferences to go to or like certain awards to maybe apply for because that is relevant in my industry, or like organizations to be a part of. And I always look at what the composition of that group is. So like, for example, my dad sent me one this morning for American craft distillers, but the whole board is these white men. And I'm like, well, that doesn't really make me want to join because what am I going to benefit from that? How do they understand my particular challenges and woes? And they don't. So it does matter. I know DE and I and A people think that doesn't matter, but it certainly does.
Yep. Are your lives over 18? I forget if I have it set at that. I think I do, but I don't remember. It's not that. Like I said, it's so here's the problem with this app now. So obviously, so two problems. One, it always takes the reporter's word for it at the beginning. And two, everything is modded via AI. The only time a real person comes into play is if there's like some secondary contact because the AI appeal didn't go the way that it should have, kind of a thing. She's asking if I set my live as an 18 and over live. So an adult only live.
What's the minimum age to even use the app? Is there one?
14, but even then I think they've got certain restrictions, although they can get around it by just having like the parent sign them up,
Right.
kind of a thing. So
Right.
it's kind of dumb that we even yeah, that's why I say, like, that's the problem is AI doesn't understand things. So it often and I don't get a lot of restrictions. People that come in are more likely to get restrictions than I am. The few times that I've gotten actual things, I've like appealed it and I've almost always won. Like the times where like real things have happened where they're like, you're doing this and I have to appeal it. Most of the times I win. It's only one specific thing that I do on lives that I never win because, again, it all has to do with this app being weird about other places. Like you said, with your stuff, with the websites and things. So that's the only time it gets weird, but I don't know. I don't care. I'm done. If it goes away, it goes away. What can I do?
Did you see I didn't look too much into it, but I saw an article today about a group of lawyers across the country that were being investigated by the FBI for insider trading, that there was like 100 of them that got arrested this week. Did you see that?
No.
Because they were merger and acquisition lawyers. And to no surprise, I'm pretty sure every single one of them was a man. And there was a lot of like, it's a very interesting case. I have to look more into it, but as my former background was in the legal space, that was really interesting to me. Like, I'm surprised this is like news, I guess. Like, I thought that was kind of known.
You know, we've got probably the worst criminal when it comes to fraud and abuse as the president of the United States. So, you know, right now it's kind of, I don't know what's going on. That's
what I'm saying. I don't know how you do this every day. I can't even keep up on one day.
Some days not so well.
Yeah.
That's why I bring up people like Scott and Di and Kia and all these other people that like, it's not just me, nor should it be just me, because I don't know everything. I don't know it all. And I don't, anyone that like, it's like, I don't know.
We need support.
Yeah. Well, and now I'm planning the trip that I'm doing, and that's fun. So, but that's going to be a whole different stress. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I kind of caught that earlier. You said you're going to, like, where did you say you're going? In DC or
Virginia,
you're trying to stop?
DC, and New York.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How long of a trip is that?
It's probably going to be like 4-ish days. Not totally
Wow.
sure. I know like some of it's going to be visiting people that I know that have nothing to do with, just because I happen to know people in like New York City and DC, and
Mhm.
I'm just like want to finally meet them. But then there's candidates that I'm interviewing in Virginia and New York as well.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's where I was actually into politics, is when I went to school in Virginia. So I'll be interested to see who you're talking to.
Giuliani is trying to get the 9/11 first responders fund to cover his medical costs. Of
I
course he
saw that.
is.
I saw that.
Well, that's what happens when
Uh,
you lose all of your money lying.
oh, what a character.
Uh,
Truly.
it's just it's never a dull moment. Let me
Like, if
help.
I was plopped into America and life, like if this was my first day on Earth, I would think that he's like a character on a TV show,
Yeah.
not a real person.
The DC one's going to be the weird part, because I'm basically going to go from Alexandria to DC to give the middle finger to the White House and the Supreme Court, and then I'm going to go visit a friend that I have there, and then I'm probably going to go right from then to go to New York. And then it's really just, you know, some of it's just going to be random hanging out with people, and anyone that lives in that area, it's like I'd love to meet them, but then I'm also going to interview at least one person who I know is running on Long Island.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a great trip. I mean, I loved living in DC when I did. Definitely wasn't ever going to be a long-term thing. There's no effing way, but really fun to visit.
Yeah. For me, it's do all daytime flights, especially out of DC. Oh, I'm doing train. I'm doing train.
Even better.
It's
That's what I
cheaper.
used to do too. Yeah.
It's cheaper right now than
It's
plane
kind of
flights.
nice.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the train from North Carolina up to Alexandria. It's gonna be like an 8-hour. I'm flying.
What?
I'm gonna fly home because it's like a 14-hour train ride from New York City down to where I am, and I'm like, I'm not sitting in a train for 14 hours. It's just not.
That's a long time. I didn't realize it was that far though.
When even if I have to like go through the pain of getting to LaGuardia or JFK, I can get home in like 2 more, like in a 2-hour flight. That's worth
Yeah.
the extra money than losing half of a day.
Agreed.
But for the going up, the train leaves at like 5 a.m. I'll get there at like 1 p.m. into Virginia. I'll get to hang out with a bunch of people in Virginia and then do stuff the next day. And I'm like running right now because one of the things I'm doing is running.
Hell yeah.
Where on the island? What county? So the person I'm interviewing, her name is, I'm going to talk with, is Jess Murphy. She's running in District 2. I don't know. She's the one that was in the interview. I can't remember what district she is anymore. I deal with so many people. All the districts are bobbling around in my head. But I think it's District 2. I don't know where my friend who lives in that area lives, which is where I'm going to be like crashing and we'll be hanging out. But that's where the person who's running is District 2, I think. "80 Texas homeowners are suing SpaceX for damaging their homes with rocket launches." Good. They can go along with the suit that's going on between Sam Altman and Elon and all the other suits that are going on. Doesn't he have health insurance? Probably not, meme. I doubt Giuliani has health insurance anymore. He couldn't afford it even if he wanted it. Because you guys know that congressmen, when they say they get it for life, they don't get free health care. You know Congress gets their health care from the from the Affordable Care Act. Now,
Isn't that ironic?
if Ireland is ever in your travels, let me know. I'll make sure I'm out of the country. I would love to go to Ireland.
I went 2 years ago, 3
Oh.
years ago. It was amazing.
I would love to. I need to go to Scotland because I'm part Scottish. So I really I feel the pull. You can always
Yeah.
tell when someone's really Scottish because you hear bagpipes and you like it.
I would love to go too. That's the next one.
Gerber's asking where you went in Ireland.
We went all over. So we started in Dublin and kind of we had a private driver, which was like bougie of us, but it was really awesome. And he kind of acted like a tour guide. So he, we'd be driving all around the country and he's pointing stuff out and, he kind of knew where to go off the beaten path. Then we went to Killarney. We went to Northern Ireland for a day and then drove down the East Coast towards Galway and then ended up back in Dublin, obviously, to fly back out. So we kind of went all over. It was so awesome. And, for those who don't know, I'm a whiskey gal. And so we did all these distillery tours, which was obviously great for me. Went to the Jameson distillery and I got to fill my own black barrel bottle, which was a really cool experience. But just it's so beautiful there. Pictures do not do it justice. It is so pretty.
I love Irish.
And the people are really awesome.
I love Irish whiskey. I can't stand Scotch. Too smoky.
They're very different. Yeah. Irish whiskey is amazing. That's what I use to experiment with for my during my research and development of my whiskey is I used some Irish whiskey just because it's more neutral and I like the taste and worked out well.
Maybe he should apply for Medicare and Medicaid, possibly. South Shore of Suffolk, very Trumpy. I mean, she seems pretty confident. I mean, I know they're supposed to feel confident, but I think I keep saying this, and I know we don't ever want to get too confident, but I truly believe that there's going to be a big, after what, 6 more months of this administration, I think you're going to see a lot of places that you never thought would flip. That's why when everyone says when Scott always says there's only 31 districts, I think this is going to be huger. And especially now that all these states are diluting counties, I think it's going to be massive. Because this administration is just keeps shooting themselves in the foot. I think gerrymandering is absolutely going to bite them in the ass. Again, what is it? The state Senate seat in Michigan that was Kamala Harris won by 1,000 votes or something like that, or maybe even less, and it was a 16-point victory in the state seat. And it's this is not going to go well. Long Island is a tough sell. That's fair. I think the Senate will flip. I really do. Like I said, I think there are a lot. I think the states that are going to flip are going to come from places that nobody thought was going to happen. Like South Dakota and Montana. Like the ones no one's talking about. Can only hope and pray that it will. And we can only keep talking about it and doing our best.
Mm-hmm.
It's and vote. And vote in primaries. I'm gonna keep saying it. This is one thing that the way that gerrymandering is turning, until we can get enough people in office to actually get rid of partisan gerrymandering, what this is going to do is make primaries a bigger deal than ever. Because the only way we're going to fix things is if we can get people through the primaries that will actually like have the chance of changing things. Because it's because of gerrymandering, it's going to be more difficult. What happened to the chat? I told you. I got restricted, Zoe, for for bullying, I guess.
He was bullying me. Just kidding.
Rude. But yeah, it and most people, I don't know. This is one of the reasons I don't go live at night. I have found that in general, when I go live at night, people were chatting though a few minutes ago. Well, I mean, Gerber is in Ireland, so that means it is 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. Coming up on 1 a.m. I can never remember. And a lot of the people that are in my chat usually go to Lewis's, so they're probably like jumping back and forth between them. You slept too late for my morning lives.
That's me this week.
I wish I could sleep late. It'd be nice.
I'm also 2 hours earlier than you, though. So
That's true.
But
Yeah,
usually I'm up at 4 a.m. But this week has been a little tough.
I didn't even post a video today. I woke up this morning and I went, I'm taking an actual day off from posting because
Good for you.
needed it.
Good for you.
But I need to make sure after I get off this live that I get tomorrow's video ready because I cannot afford to take 2 days off.
Life of a content creator.
Yep. Wish I could do Scotland and Ireland too. Oh yeah. I would love it. That's why I keep telling people, I'm like, guys, if everyone who followed me just gave $5, $5,
we could fund his trip to Ireland.
You could fund this podcast and my ability to travel and to candidates literally everywhere. I want a whole tour of Europe. I've gotten to go to... Hello, other Zoe. We got 2 Zoes. Confusing. I did a choir tour, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and Czech Republic. It was really cool.
That sounds awesome.
Still want to go to Scotland though. That's Scotland and Ireland.
My favorite place I've ever been is Morocco. I did a study abroad there while I was learning Arabic in college, and it was the most beautiful, culturally beautiful place I have ever been to. Highly recommend going.
Austria was amazing. Just like
I bet.
walking through going through the mountains, and it's just like, it's just
bucket list.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
Like there's just this random, like in this whole area, like we're like in this one area and there's like nothing except for like people living. And then there's this like one place in like the entire place that everyone just goes to eat at. and we were in a choir tour, so the entire like tour of people all went there to eat. And you could tell that they're never used to having this many people in there. It was hilarious. And I felt so bad for them.
Aw.
Yep. Gerber, I actually got a picture of myself near the that horse statue in Sound of Music. For 27 years, I had international roommates. I've never traveled out of the US, but I've learned a lot.
You do learn a lot by traveling, I'll tell you that. It's not enough to just hear about it or like read about it. Actually being in a physical space is so much different.
Yeah.
Obviously, though, that requires some level of privilege to be able to travel abroad, but if you can, definitely should do that.
Yeah, well, right now, most of us probably aren't going to be traveling. My wife planned a trip, like, oh, it's a work trip she's on. And she went to the airport and she sent us a picture. It was like 11 o'clock. And the airport where we're at is a busy airport. She took a picture. There was nobody there.
Whoa.
Like, it was, for this airport, it was empty. Which is
Because of prices, you think, or what?
probably who can afford to travel.
Gets harder and harder every single day.
I'm like looking at plane flights back from New York to North Carolina. It's like a 2-hour flight. And they're charging like $300.
Yep. Listen, me traveling to the grocery store is like a plane ticket these days.
Like, the only reason I'm willing to do it is because it's going to cost like $200 to take a friggin' train for 14 hours back. And it's like $100 extra for getting about 8 to 10 more hours of my day.
Yeah.
Is worth it at this point. I'm like, it's like, I'll make like 5 videos in that time, and that'll hopefully at least maybe make up the cost. Probably not these days. I was looking through my list and the creator fund of the videos that I've made, and like, it's disgusting how bad it is. Like, if it wasn't for me doing lives, I would be screwed right now. Like, it's like inefficient views, I'm just swiping through, and it's just like dozens of inefficient views. And then one that gets me like, that says like, you know, $1 or $2. And then I go for a while, and then I get like $20 for this one. And like, I did one that did pretty well just recently. That actually got me a couple hundred, but still, that's like,
oh, nice.
That's like the best video that I've had in the last 6 months. I'm so usually lucky if I'm getting like $20-$30 in a month from my videos. Japan just opened a 350 mph train. If only the United States would do that.
Long overdue.
To London, I had to pay 100 each to choose our seats, another 100 each to bring a bag. That's insane.
That kind of stuff is the thing that's pissing me off, is all this price gouging with like the little things that they want you to pay for now. It's like,
it's
how could so much change in less than a decade?
It's an airline's version of shrinkflation. Instead of reducing the size in order to make a better profit, they're hiding the costs in other places so they don't have to raise the prices of the tickets.
Right. Well, in business school, one of the first things we learn through our case studies is that airlines don't typically make a profit, and nor do they have assets, real assets. You guys were talking about that in a live not too long ago. They don't own the planes. Like when Spirit Airlines went down, most airlines don't own their planes, and their margins are very, very tight. And so, I don't know, but that's how it's always been. So it's like now all of a sudden everyone wants to be a billionaire. don't know. It's just, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just tired of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm tired of a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, as a business owner, I've been looking at getting a corporate job again, and I was very impassioned about my choice to quit corporate 2 years ago. And, you know, it's not like I wasn't warned then about what could be, but it's gotten to a point where it's just not smart anymore to not have some sort of safety net.
Yeah.
But it feels, it's not, I know it's not a failure, but it almost kind of feels like one. It's like, damn, like, but I know it's not anything I'm doing or not doing per se.
Well, and
But it, you
unfortunately,
know,
unfortunately your field is even tighter because of all the
yeah.
things that people are starting to pull back on. Alcohol is probably one of the first things that a lot of people are pulling back on.
Yes, but it's I don't know. I even myself have to do I always need to do more research. But I mean, alcohol survived prohibition. It survived a lot of things. It's a really old industry. I don't think it's going away. I know trends have shifted, but I don't think that's a permanent thing.
No, I don't think
Right?
it's permanent. I just think,
But that's what you have to look at in business. You can't think in the short term and
yeah,
what is currently happening necessarily. Like you can't be reactionary at the same time. So it's not like I'm just up and absolving the whole business because, you know, but it's a waiting game. It's a
mm-hmm. Well, and let's be fair. Part of the problem is also we've got, you know, a president who has decided um, to separate our ties with one of the largest buyers of American whiskey ever, which is Canada.
Yep. When times get tough, people turn to vices. Exactly. That's kind of my point is
And then I'm on the other side of it. So I'm a massage therapist. When times get tough, people cut their massages because they can't afford them, because they're considered a luxury, even though they are a preventative medical service. Insurance companies no longer cover them. They no longer cover chiropractors. You know, they no longer cover this. They no longer cover that as of the 1st of this year.
Ambrosia, it's called Bewilder Bewilder.
Yes.
It's mushroom infused whiskey. I actually have a bottle that I'm waiting for a specific situation to happen, and then y'all are going to get to see me enjoy it.
Yeah, if my distiller would get back to me and answer my emails, that would be great. Luckily for me, as the business model that I have, it is good technically for me right now because it's a buyer's market and I purchase barrels. I don't actually have a distillery. I'm a non-distilling producer, which means I buy barrels.
Yeah.
But that's very common. It's very common in the industry. It's just not as like, I don't know, it's not as talked about, I guess, for people outside of the industry. Like you wouldn't know that, I guess.
Yeah.
But it is a common practice. And given what's going on, a lot of the major companies like Sazerac are either selling or buying. It's like it's chaos right now. It is, which means, you know, people are getting rid of their stock. So barrels are cheap, which is good for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, there are always positives. This is the problem. Like even look at the 2008 financial crisis. It was bad for a lot of people. See, Ambrosia, but in the end, that 2008 financial crisis is the only reason that I have a house. If that did not happen, if the prices of housing didn't drop because of that, we'd probably still be renting.
But that's such a tricky line of thinking to go down because you'll see people on this app turn that into, well, I support Trump because he's gonna destroy everything. So then in the end we'll win. Like, no,
Sure.
that's also not the answer. I know that's not what you were saying, Mike,
No.
but like that's what reminds me of that kind of line of thinking is, you know, we have bad things happen so that good things can happen later. And it's like, well, why can't we just make things like generally good?
Sure. Well, but this is the thing, and you're absolutely right. But there's a difference. The 2008 financial crisis, like, it's, for me, it was a positive to something that was negative.
Right.
This administration, like, no administration on purpose destroyed the economy. Like as much as I disliked what's his face, George W., he didn't cause the 2008 financial crisis. He may have,
but there were people who did.
There were people who did, and most of them were banks. That's a whole different problem. But this current one is being caused by this administration and their choices.
True.
And it's not the things they're saying they're trying to do to help are not helping anyone but the rich people. And
it's
again,
the opposite.
I've already said this a million times. If we, the hard part about all of this is to fix some of the problems that we got, there's going to be pain no matter what. Like, it's just unavoidable. It is unavoidable. We cannot fix the problems of people not getting paid enough to survive without dealing with some level of pain to start. There literally is no escaping it. And this is why. If let's say we raise the minimum wage everywhere to a point that's a livable wage, which is like $25, $26, I think what it is now, if it was everywhere.
Damn.
The reality is a lot of small businesses would suffer. There's no getting around that. Hopefully our government would be smart and put something in place to help make it possible for small businesses to be able to afford it, like reduce for a short amount of time, however long, reduce taxes on small businesses, people under a certain amount or whatever, so they can take the money they would be paying taxes to help pay the people, because people would then be paying more income tax at that moment. So that would cover that loss at that moment. But then at some point you can start getting back to a more normal setup, because then we've worked through those initial growing pains of it. And it's the same with all of the problems we have. None of these problems are quick, like snap your finger and fix problems. They're going to take work. They're going to take pain. They're going to take trial, because not all of them, like, again, if we have a problem with people's mental health, well, we say the fix for people's mental health is to get them mental health services. Well, if there aren't enough people, if there aren't enough actual like therapists to actually help everyone who's dealing with it, well, the first thing we need to do is train more therapists, which means we also probably need to pay as a society for those people, because that's, if we need it, then we need to be willing to pay for it. So there's and that's going to take time. That's going to take 3 to 4 years to get people through and well trained, because because you're also telling all of these you have to bring in therapists as teachers for all of these people, and it's just you're
talking about setting up systems.
Yes.
Like, we need new systems.
It's legislator for the systems. You know, I was talking yesterday with Melissa about not only having a nurse practitioner in the school, but somebody who's also trained in child psychology, so that as they identify mental health issues in elementary school in these children, they can actually start having the conversations with them to help them be able to work through them, so they don't affect them as much as they become adults. Otherwise, we have a lot of people, where myself included, they don't get their bipolar manic depression diagnosis till they're in their 30s and 40s, and they've spent, the last 30 years of their life destroying it, and now they're trying to fix it now that they're finally in balance.
Well, I mean, I don't know about everyone else's schools, but the school that my kid was in, like, one nurse for like 1,200 students.
Mm-hmm. And until last year, they had a child psychologist on staff for all the students on the IEP, but as of this year, they couldn't afford it.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
We used to have social workers in our schools, and we don't anymore. And that terrifies me. We should have social workers in our schools on all levels, period.
Yep.
I agree.
Well, speaking of having to work on tomorrow's video, I probably should go do that because tomorrow's going to be a long day. So
It's Friday.
yeah, I wish that meant for me.
Yeah. So tomorrow starts off with I work at 11 a.m. massaging people, and I do that for a few hours. Then I got to come home and work on videos, and then I have an interview at 6 p.m. So I'm not stopping at all.
Yep. Yeah. But
Well,
it's worth it.
What we do.
it's worth it.
Guys, thanks for coming up and hanging out with me. For everyone else that came up on a wild and surprise evening stream, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the morning, and we'll see what dumb thing this administration has done between now and then. You guys are amazing, just the way you are. Love you all very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to sing, laugh, dance, smile. Go do something that makes you happy. Bye, guys.